bullying or whatnot. We know how that affects us, right? Or maybe we don't know because we haven't started into therapy and we're still living out of those wounds, being driven by the shame and all the other things. The shame is the hardest to heal from these things, right? The feeling that I don't belong anywhere, that I'm fundamentally broken. Even God can't help me. That's toxic shame right there. So they found there are 3 categories, physical, sexual, and mental or emotional abuse and neglect. That if a person is growing up and has 4 or more of these things happening in their life, there's 10 basic categories. If they have 4 or more of these in their life as a child, they are dramatically more likely to have a really hard adult life. The more the number goes up, the more likely it's going to be a very difficult adult life. The more likely that we're going to be incarcerated, that we're going to have chronic disease caused by inflammation. And no wonder, because when we're traumatized, there's cortisol pumping, we're on high alert, the adrenaline, our brains are being rewired by the trauma. And of course, that's going to affect all of our organs and all of our body systems. So no wonder we're going to have diseases caused by inflammation when we're adults. We're much more likely to be undereducated, underemployed, and to die sooner, and to have a series of unfortunate relationships and all sorts of things, the higher the score is on the ACEs inventory. Now today, that was back in the 90s, today there are a lot of studies going on about resilience. It's kind of like the resilience side of things. Why is it that in some families with 4 or 5 kids that have these adverse experiences, some of them grow up and are kind of fitting that profile I just described, and then the other ones seem to heal, seem to overcome what has happened. And so they're discovering all kinds of really important things, such as if a child growing up with adverse childhood experiences is exposed to, for at least 3 months, out of their whole childhood, if they just for 3 months have an adult in their life, or a child that's old enough to be like an adult, who loves them appropriately, loves them well, sees them, respects and honors them, treats them like they're somebody. That's enough to change the course of that kid's life, because they bond with this person who loves them well. And that person, this is not something the child says, I want to be that person when I grow up. It's deeper than that. But they bond with, so it could be a public school teacher, it could be a next door neighbor, could be somebody from the church. If we know our neighbors, we'll have relationships with these kids, right? So a community of wounded healers needs to have some sense of what trauma is, what causes trauma, how it affects our bodies, our spirituality, our emotions, our physical health, and needs to have some sense and ongoing attention to how can we support and be responsive in a healing way to the people among us who have active trauma. One of the things we learn in a trauma-informed and trauma-responsive community is to not put anybody in leadership that has active trauma that's driving their choices and behaviors, because they don't have the capacity yet. It's not because they're bad or there's something wrong. It's just some more healing is needed first. Or there will be havoc. Right? Yes? Time. All right, I have to hurry up. All right, this will be our last slide. So these communities of wounded healers that Spirit is calling forth now are networked. Not little islands that don't communicate with anybody, but they're like those purple dots I showed you toward the end where they're now speaking into the system, or they're networked. There's communication going on so we can help each other do the best that we can do and learn from our mistakes together. Collaborate together. We're going to give up that competitive thing where we're going, boy, the church is super competitive. We have to have a better youth program, or they're going to go down there and go on that ski trip, and there goes all the money. Always comes back to the money, right? And communal, where we are sharing power, where we're making decisions together, and where we're elevating the gifts of the people because the Spirit has given us those gifts. Okay, I think it's time to eat lunch. Is that right? Okay. You've been very attentive. Thank you so much. And
I have some instructions.
yeah.
First of all, let's give it up for Dr. Heath.